country's inundated right now with Mexican cartel operations in every city all around America. Stories like that. They're coming into America to buy mass amounts of weapons. They're transporting the weapons down to Mexico. They're flooding the country with historic levels of fentanyl and methamphetamine. They're killing our kids at a level that we've never seen in the history of the country. They're killing more Americans than any terrorist organization in the history of the country. They're building up weapon systems. They have drones. They drop explosives. They have unlimited funding. They're making billions of dollars now from the damn migrant smuggling because the border's wide open, and it's continuing to get worse. And so, yeah, it's a disaster. And they are running Mexico. They control the soft on crime, corrupt leaders in Mexico. And so basically, they are also all over America. And when I was an agent in the DEA at the end of my career, I would keep track of the greatest hits. I would call them on my phone, all these murder scenes. I was getting the pictures. I was the head of the operation. So I demanded pictures around the country because I wanted to just be able to demonstrate the level of violence. I mean, heads decapitated, limbs cut off with chainsaws, heads posted on fences. They take a head, put it on a fence post, and put a note around the head. One of the photos I had, which is, I say my favorite, but it was the most graphic. They were trying to intimidate a rival cartel, so they sent a gift to one of the families, and they opened up the gift. It was a cooler. When they opened up the cooler, it was 5 heads in the cooler in blood. And I had never seen this. I wasn't a street cop in New York. I never came across homicide scenes like this. But we had just a long history of watching the Mexican cartel violence in America, not just in Mexico. Okay. So they're over the border, they're in our cities, and what you described is very common all over the border. Actually, I was just reading a book about an ATF agent who was involved with Fast and Furious, but they're sending people up here every day. They go to the gun shops, they buy these guns legally, and then they bring them back down to Mexico for the cartels. This is very common, and they get paid a lot of money. And then, of course, those guns are used for massive violence in Mexico.
Yeah, we just Texas, we just massed our National Guard on the border.
Yeah.
There was a video released. Somebody's riding down what I would call a frontage road, what seemed like on the border there, and you just hear automatic gunfire erupting. I'm like, that's on the damn border. Like they need to. I'm glad that they're putting the National Guard down there. Shoot, I'd say keep them on a permanent exercise where they're just running the border and keeping the riffraff out, because like you said, in the DFW area where I'm located, I mean, we got massive cartel, human trafficking, dope, and the dope is a totally separate thing, but the human trafficking thing right now is just unmeasurable.
That's one of the things the average people don't understand. Like the money that they're making from the human trafficking, charging anywhere from like $2,000 to $20,000 to get people into America. The cartels are making billions, not only from the drugs that are killing at record levels, but the migrant smuggling, human trafficking, sex trafficking, these poor kids that they're, abusing, and the stash houses all along the border, piling each other on top of each other, no water, no air conditioning, totally inhumane conditions, putting them in tractor trailers, watching people, absolutely bake from inside out, like the one in San Antonio, like 53 dead migrants because they dumped them in the back of the tractor trailer and it got like 125 or whatever degrees. So yeah, it's a major shit show, okay? And it's getting worse. And that's what happens when you don't have leadership that understands what's going on and not listening to the people that are the experts.
Yeah, I had Matt Thomas from Pinell County, Arizona.
Yeah, I know Matt.
Yeah, Matt's a good dude, and he was laying out some stuff that I was unaware of. I mean, we do get some FBI annually. We get like an FBI update on cartel activities over the year and the stuff that they're doing. So I see the level of violence, like you said. Yeah, you're not underselling it at all. I mean, I've seen where they set up a soccer field and they placed the heads strategically like it was a soccer game to send a message to this whole city. And I was like, what the fuck? I mean, they skin people alive. They just it's like they're trying to one up each other. It's a failed country,
Yeah.
as far as
Failed
I'm
state, narco state.